I'm Danielle, your host of the Abridged to Motherhood podcast, the place where moms like you learn to thrive, not just survive through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. I'm a birth and postpartum doula and a mom of two who's been where you are. My first pregnancy was filled with so much excitement, but it was also marked by stress, anxiety, and fear of the unknown. I thought I had everything mapped out, but when postpartum hit, I realized how unprepared I was for the physical, emotional, and mental toll of motherhood. It was overwhelming, lonely, and nothing like I imagined. When I found out I was pregnant again, I knew I needed to approach things differently. I made it my mission to not only prepare for postpartum, but to prioritize myself in the process. That shift changed everything. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Whether you're navigating your first pregnancy, feeling buried under endless advice, or struggling to figure out what you actually need for postpartum, this podcast is your safe space. You'll find practical tips, honest conversations, and expert insights to help you feel informed, supported, and empowered through every stage of motherhood. If you're ready to feel confident, prepared, and truly supported in your motherhood journey, stick around. This is for you. Hey friends, welcome back to the Abridged to Motherhood podcast. So glad you're here for another week. And it was so fun for me to re-listen to this podcast episode. I think we recorded maybe back in August. The plan was to release in October, and then I ended up taking the break from the podcast. And this is just such an impactful conversation. I talked with Kalee Isbell. She owns Isbell Family Films, and she launched this company after she discovered the profound impact of family videos on her own mental health while she was suffering from postpartum depression with her second. So, of course, her story resonated so much with me, and I can't wait for you all to hear it because not only did we talk about how starting her company was such a personal healing tool for her, but it became her mission then to help families, couples, professionals see the beauty in their everyday moments. And she shares about how capturing real life memories, not just all that picture perfect stuff we see on social media, can really shift our perspective on life, strengthen our connections with our kids, and even serve as this powerful tool for us as moms for our self-care. She really gives us a lot of actionable and practical tips for preserving our own family stories and insights on how personal video content can enhance our legacies and our families, and gives us a lot of very refreshing reminders that the most meaningful moments in our lives are often the ones that we overlook and take for granted. So she just offers a lot of wisdom. At the time we recorded, she had a 10 and an 8-year-old and was pregnant, due in November. So now she's got baby number 3. But she just had so much wisdom to share, and you'll hear in the conversation, she talks about how those of us that are maybe a little further on in our motherhood journeys have a responsibility to really share with younger moms and love on them, and just all the wisdom that we've gained, even though we may only be a couple years ahead. Of course, we still have so much more wisdom to learn, but just having someone that's a little bit ahead of you on the journey is so helpful. So can't wait for you to hear this conversation. And I just wanted to remind you all also that I officially launched my 6-week community Bible study. We talk about all things postpartum and then how they relate to our faith and evidence-based care. And we do a little bit of teaching on the topic, whatever we're talking about that week, some Q&A to get your questions answered, and then we move into combating the lies that we believe and combating them with the truth of Scripture. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have you check out abridgedtomotherhood.com/community for more information. And you can pop in during any week of the Bible study, and you get 6 weeks of it. And without further ado, here is my conversation with Kalee. Kalee, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I was really excited for this conversation today because I am not the best at taking pictures or videos of myself or my kids. And I'm really excited for this conversation because I'm thinking that you are going to be able to help me make this simpler. And I just feel like when I look back on their baby times, I have some videos, but not enough. So I really want to start capturing more of that in real time. And I have an aunt who's like so good at it. So I kind of rely on her when we're at family functions, but I'm like, I need to start doing this in my own life. I'd love to just kind of hear your story about how you started Isbell Family Films and how you got started in this process of creating these family films and capturing all those memories on camera.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and I love talking and motivating people to record their families more. My family and I, we live in a suburb of Austin, Texas. So it's like, I don't know, 95 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like it's just miserably hot right now. But I have two kids. My son is almost 10. He'll be 10 in a month. And then my daughter, she turned 8 in May. And then we're pregnant with our third and due in November. So
Oh,
2.5.
congratulations.
Thank you. 2.5 kids right now. And I started my company in January of 2019. So we're in year 7 right now. And it really started with I never really actually intended to create a company at all. I was a teacher. I taught junior high history and a little bit of elementary school, and then decided I liked middle school the best. So I ended up teaching in middle school for almost 5 years. And my husband switched jobs, and it kind of forced me into making a decision of what I wanted to do. But it started with my son when he was born. My husband and I, for his first birthday, made a video to show at his party, and I loved doing that. Like my husband he made videos for his job, and so he was showing me how to do it on iMovie on our MacBook, and it was just so creatively fulfilling to me. I loved it. And was like anxiously waiting for my son to turn 2 so that I could make the next one. And my kids are 20 months apart. So when my son was 20 months old, my daughter was born, and she was the baby from hell. Like she was just the worst baby ever. And we used to joke, and the joke doesn't work anymore, that she's the reason we never had any more children. But now I can just say she's the reason that we waited 8 years to have the third one. We needed to recover. She made up for it later. Like she was the worst baby, but she's the best toddler, best kid, like easiest kid to parent. She's the kind of kid where you're like, oh, I'm the best parent ever. Like she's just a dream. But she had reflux and some other allergies that we didn't know about. And so she just cried, and she was terrible. And it was so difficult. And it really spiraled me into a deep postpartum depression. And I wasn't aware of it. My husband was working a really long hour job, and he was never home, and I was working, and so it was just really overwhelming. And one day when she was about 6 months old, and I was kind of coming out of the fog of like she was starting to feel better and everyone was finally settling into a routine, and I was starting to recover a little bit, like I felt like I could function. I thought to myself, because her birthday was coming up, and I was starting to think about her first birthday and making a video for her. And I thought, why do I have to wait until her first birthday to make a video of all these videos that I've taken of my kids? Because I was taking them to prepare for their birthday films. And so one day during nap time, I edited just a quick, 3-minute video of our videos from the last couple months and watched it back. And like, it was just so impactful for me. It really, because I spent 6 months of my life feeling like I had brought a little human into the world who was suffering, and I couldn't do anything to help her. And I was causing her this pain. And then I had this other little human in my life who he and I had a great little, life together, just me and him. And then I had brought this sister into the world who just wrecked his life and made it so hard for him to, like, he was just so overstimulated with all her crying, and it was really difficult for us to spend time together. And so I was just always feeling like I was failing them constantly, and that I was doing a terrible job as a mother, and we had this terrible, miserable life. And, it was definitely depressed. And watched this video back, and this ability to see my life from this outside perspective that I had created, but really the camera allows you to reflect on, what you can't always see, it really started to change my perspective of the life that we were living. And I was like, oh man, like we actually do fun things. Like we did go to the zoo one time in those couple months. Like I had captured a video in that of my son giving my daughter a hug. It took him like 6 months to want to touch her because like that's how much she cried. And like I had gotten that on video, and like there was all these things that when you're stuck in like the nasty part of motherhood that's so difficult, you forget about all the good stuff because it's easier to have the hard stuff take up space in our brains. And so I edited another month and then another month and another month, and I just started editing these for us all the time, and really found a lot of value in them. And my husband loved them, and my son loved them, and my, in-laws loved to watch them. And my husband one day was like, you should make a business out of this. I bet you people would pay for this. And I was like, who is going to pay me to edit this stranger? Like, nope. And how am I supposed to find people? I'm never going to do that. I'm just going to teach and whatever. And so we ended up moving, and I had to quit my job, and I was staying at home. And I stay-at-home mothers, bless them, but I am not one of those. Like I need to work outside, or I work from home, but I need to work and have something to do other than my kids. One day I was scrolling Instagram during nap time. Man, nap time's been good to me, but scrolling Instagram during nap time, and someone had asked, like, where do I find people to edit all of my videos? Because Instagram at that point in 2019 was photos only. There were no videos really on Instagram. I was like, I'll do it for you. So I sent her a DM, and I was like, I'll edit. I edit videos. I'll do it for you. But I had no business plan. I had no name. I had no website, nothing. And she messaged, because I was like, oh, this lady's not even going to see my message. Well, she did. And so she messaged me back, and she said, I would love that. I'm going to send you all the videos of our vacation that we just went on. I was like, okay. And so she sent them to me, and I edited them, and I sent them back to her. And she was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. What's your business? What's your website? I want to tell people about this. And so in an overnight, instant, I had a business and I had clients, and really have just been, the first 5 years was just chasing, a snowball down a hill. But I feel like in the last two, been kind of on a nice, steady path.
Wow. I love your story so much because I relate, having gone through postpartum depression and anxiety myself. And you built something beautiful out of that time. And I can hear when you talk about it how much it meant to you and your mental health during that time as well. And I would just love to hear you talk a little bit more about that correlation between capturing those moments and then watching them back and how it really supported you.
Yeah. I actually used to talk about it in a way of like a mindful, or a gratitude practice of like, it allowed me to be thankful for the things that I was not able to see. But I actually had somebody reframe it to me once and talk about it more as a mindfulness practice, where like you're just recognizing what it is and you don't have to feel one way or another about it. And I liked that so much. I like that so much better now, kind of out of it, because I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to feel grateful for difficult things, but in reality, I'm not grateful that my daughter suffered so much in the first couple months of her life. And like I can look back now and recognize how that difficult season of my life has positively impacted me now, 8 years later. But if I could change things, I probably would. Like it, it was really, really hard. And so when I look at it in the way that it impacted me and my mental health, it allowed me to be mindful of the reality that I was living in, accept the things that were really difficult, but also at the same time notice the things that were really good. And when I was able to see good things and negative things, I could then attempt to reframe my mindset every day of like, I do have good things that are happening to me and my kids. It also allowed me to go and seek more things to video. So when I was looking for good things to video, I saw more of them. I wanted to create experiences for myself and my kids that brought that video to life. Like we went to the park way more. We went to we would go to story time at the library, but I would never take a video of it. But when I was going to put it in a video to watch back, I was like, you know what? I do actually want to remember what story time is like with my son when he's 2, and I do want to remember how my daughter and son interact in the bathtub together. And I do want to remember these morning walks that we take every day. But it's because that video had a purpose it was going to. And so it really wasn't, it really was a combination of giving my memories a purpose, something to do with them. And then therefore I was creating more positive input into my life naturally because of that.
I love how you talked about the seeing the actual reality, that mindfulness. And I know that your goal is to record more of these real life memories versus all the picture perfect junk
Mm-hmm.
we see all over social media. So, why is recording those everyday moments so impactful for families to look back on?
I think because they're just so easily forgotten if you don't do it. Like we forget about the little things that our kids do every day because it is our everyday. And so to be honest with you, I hate that. I hate the mantra and the phrase of like, you should always pick your kids up because you never know when the last time you're going to pick them up is. And that to me, that's such a negative way to frame that because it puts all this pressure and guilt on us of like, we have to remember and savor and enjoy every single second of this. Being a parent is really hard, and there's all this media out there that's telling us like, oh, the 18 summers thing, like hate it. You only have 8. I hate summer, by the way. Summer with my kids is so hard. And so I hate that mantra of like, you only have 18 summers with them. You got to make the most. You have to do this. They're never going to ask you to read a book at night to them again, whatever, right? And sometimes I feel like we put this pressure on ourselves to record things because we're gonna it's never gonna be there again. But in reality, we're recording them because yeah, it may go away soon, but this is so we can look back and remember and cherish the moments that did happen. And that's why those little memories that we forget about, like maybe how they put on their shoes or how they say a certain funny word. Or my daughter, we used to call her the bag lady because she would like carry around bags with all of her baby toy stuff, like just a backpack and 2 purses on each arm and one on the stroller. And I have one video of that. And if I wouldn't have ever taken that video, I probably would have forgotten about it. Because every time I see that video come back up, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot that she did that. Right. And instead of like seeing it as this sadness or this, I didn't enjoy that enough, I get to actually watch that video back and be reminded of like how much joy it brought me to see her be that way, like her little 2-year-old self that doesn't exist anymore. But there is still so much to enjoy now, and we have to focus on capturing those everyday moments of their adolescence too.
Immediately when you said about them saying a word a funny way, I think about that often now because my daughter still she's 7 and she still will say biscotti, but
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think I have that recorded
Yeah.
anywhere. So that
That's
made
your
me
goal
think
then.
I need to get that recorded. Yes. So I think we've talked a lot about how impactful and meaningful recording these moments can be, but can you help us like figure out how to actually do it in our
Yeah.
everyday life?
Yeah, right. One, I think the number one thing that I tell people is you just do it. You just take out your camera and you just do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the most perfectly framed, lighted shot. But as you do it more, you get better at it, just like riding a bike, just like driving a car, just like cooking, right? Like the more you do things, you start to develop different perspectives in different ways. And so if recording your family in a creative way is your goal, that's the best way to get there, is to just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And to keep the pressure off of ourselves that we have to do this. Nobody has to do anything, but if we want to do it, then we should give ourselves permission to just do it. Just take it out and do it. I also tell people that like if you're going to take a photo already, then just take a video at the same time. Like take your photo and then really quickly take a video. And sometimes I don't even tell my kids I'm taking a video. I'll just like take the video really quick and then I'll be like, oh, that one didn't turn out. And then I'll take a photo really quick, right? Or, there's ways that you can get more content out of a really short amount of time. And that's the other thing too, is I feel like there's this narrative out there where if we have our phone out and we're recording our kids, we're somehow not present in the moment. My pushback on that is if I'm noticing something is so valuable to me that I want to remember it forever, I would actually argue I'm more present in that moment than I ever would be. If I'm noticing that my daughter is in a play and I'm so proud of her and all the things that she's done and the way she's worked hard for this accomplishment, and I want to record that and remember that, that's not me being out of the memory or not paying attention. In reality, that I think that narrative comes from when we're playing with our kids and we're just scrolling our phones instead of being engaged in their play. And there's no rule that says if I want to take a video of my kid making his magnetile tower, why can't I take a quick 10-second video of the 20 minutes that I'm playing with him? Like, we need to give ourselves permission to just chill a little bit. Like, that's why I always hear parents when moms send me footage and they're like, oh, I was just so worried about not being fully present at the birthday party that I didn't even take a single video of the birthday cake. And it's like, why are we putting that pressure on ourselves to take a 10-second video, we're not present there? Like, of course we're present. Like, we're there. If you were in the bathroom hiding, scrolling TikTok, yeah, you're not present at the birthday party, right? But if you're choosing to record your son blowing out his birthday candles, I'm still watching it the same. Like, if I'm recording it like this and watching it on the screen, or I'm just watching it, like, I'm still there in the same amount of connection. And these videos, they don't have to be 5 minutes long. We don't have the 1990 camcorders on our shoulders anymore, right? Where we're carrying it around the whole birthday party to record every single second. We can take 30 seconds out of the day to take a quick little video. And so I think moms that I sometimes I wonder if that is the big hiccup for some of these parents who feel like they don't take video enough, is because they're worried that they're not going to be present, or it might be too distracting, or whatever that might be. And I think we need to give ourselves permission to do both, right? Like, we can be present and we can take video at the same time.
And if it's important to you that you get a video of your child blowing out the birthday candles, guarantee there are other people at that birthday party that you can ask to film
Yeah,
that for you
there you
too.
go. Exactly. Absolutely. If you don't want to do it, ask grandma, ask the aunt, ask your best friend that's at the party. 100%. Absolutely.
As you were talking, I was thinking a lot about my daughter. If as soon as she knows that video camera is on her, she gets a little self-conscious.
Okay, yeah.
So, what advice do you have for that to help a kid that's more maybe aware that the camera's on? How do you help them to get over that fear or make it feel less natural
Mhm.
and not staged? Because that's what we're trying to capture is natural moments. We don't want
Right,
them to be
right.
aware.
Yes, my daughter is the opposite. So I have the same problem, but opposite. She likes to perform. She gets really performative in front of the camera, which drives me bonkers. And so the way that I've tried to manage this, and the way that I've watched other people manage it, editing videos for other families, is first thing that I think helps is just asking their permission. Like, could I take a video of you really quick? Would that be okay? And seeing what they say, right? If they push back, then maybe you don't get it that day and you try again another day. It also maybe just accepting. What I've noticed too is that when they see the product that they're getting, like, I'm taking a video for you because I want to show you, like, we're going to make this family video of our whole year and we're going to recap it and then we'll watch it. Look how cool this will be. Wouldn't it be fun to see yourself? When they can see what they're going to get out of it, they become a lot more willing to participate. And so maybe if the first couple videos you take, they are awkward, or she is uncomfortable, or she's shy, and then sees that back and is like, oh wait, maybe I don't want to be shy because look how cool this video is at the end. Because kids ultimately love to see themselves, and they feel loved and celebrated when they see photos of themselves and they see videos of themselves. And so I think that their mindset will naturally change. And so maybe we just do capture them in that natural state. Like my daughter, for instance, in her performance aspect, There are times where I'll include the video of her being performative. And then there are other times where I will stop the video and I'll say, listen, I don't want you to act like the camera's here. Like, I'm just going to take this video really quick, go back to what you were doing. This is for our family video, and then I'll let you see it later. And she's usually pretty good about that. I think just like keeping an open dialogue, respecting their boundaries with what they want or what they don't want. I'm really big on that when I teach clients like how to take videos of your kids. It's like we can't force them to do something they don't want to do. Like, we do ultimately have to respect their boundaries, but there are some, we can also be a little sneaky. Like, we're not harming them by taking some video of them. So if we have to take it through the window, or if we have to kind of take it around the corner, like, we could do that for a little bit. And then once they see what they're getting out of it, I think they become a lot more invested in the process too.
That made me think of The Office with the spy shots
Yes.
for all my office lovers out there. But yes, those were great tips for making everything feel more authentic with our kids and less staged, but just capturing a sweet moment that we want, like you said, we want to remember forever and for them to remember forever too and be able to look back on what a special gift
Yeah.
to give your kids too, that they can look back on their childhood and how you saw it as their parent.
Yeah. A gift that other generations never don't have, right? Like,
Mm-mm.
I know my parents took videos of me growing up, but I haven't seen them. Like, I don't know where they are, or I don't have access to them. And my husband, he has some, and I actually digitized them and edited them last summer, but most of them are corrupted. Like, they're just gone.
Mm.
So, yeah, for our kids to be able to at any point in time see their videos of them walking and talking and riding a bike for the first time, like, it's a privilege, I think, and a responsibility that we have to preserve that for them, to see how much we enjoyed and loved them in this time.
What you do is so special because you're turning the videos then into something lasting and special rather than just letting them sit in the
Yeah.
cloud somewhere, right? I guess I just want to end everything with, can you give us just some quick like rapid fire tips of just some ways that we can capture the magic
Yeah,
of everyday life?
absolutely. My number one tip I give people is to record everything horizontal, not vertical. And of course, and all these tips also, I'm really big on, like, I'm going to give people tips and advice, but nothing is biblical truth. Like, you do what works for you. But horizontal, because everything that we watch is horizontal. Our TVs are horizontal, movies are horizontal, all of that. And so if we really want to enjoy our videos in the most enjoyably watchable way, then we should record it horizontally. You also get more of your surroundings when you do that too. And so that allows you to capture more of what you're doing. Also, having a purpose for your videos and your photos motivates us to take more of them. Whether you do that yourself or you hire a company like us to take that off of your plate, that is extremely valuable and helpful. I spend 3 to 4 hours on every video that I create for families, and think about all the things that you could do in those 3 to 4 hours that we could give back to you. Like, I can list right now all the things that I could get done in 4 hours, right? Thinking about recording things like I talked about earlier that are easily forgotten, the way kids say things, the little dimples on their hands. One of my favorite videos of all time is my daughter putting on her shoes and walking out the door to go to preschool. Just the little things that, like, you just forget, or have some non-negotiables in your life that you're always going to take photos and videos of. Like, my non-negotiables are, I always take a video and photo of them on their birthday. I always take a video and photo around the first day of school. Actually, not on the first day. I take it before the first day, because first day is way too stressful to pose for a photo. So we always do it the night before.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way to do it, for in my opinion, or the day after, right? Who says it has to be on the first day, right? Birthdays, first day of school, I always have them say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Been doing that for 6 years, and I have a compilation right now of them, like, saying Merry Christmas, and then now they say Merry Christmas with their R's, and it's just like the most adorably heartbreaking, video of
Mm.
all time. And, having some non-negotiables in there for yourself of, like, I'm always going to capture this. I'm going to try my best to capture this all the time. so that I can watch this progression of their growth. And then if you want to take videos creatively, like if you want to take a video that is not just like a point and record and leave it, like doing this, like following your people around all the time, there's lots of ways you can purposefully move your camera. You can move your camera really purposefully up and down to, like, you could take a video of your kid from their feet all the way to their head. You can just take a video of just their feet or just their face, like thinking of different ways you can frame your shot, like how you talked about The Office and the spy shots of them like going around the corner. That is a really cinematic way to take video. It's funny there because they use that in a comedic way, but in a thriller, that can be really intense, right? You're like going around the corner, like what's around the corner? And so you can use that type of inspiration from movies and TV shows to figure out ways to take cool and creative videos of your family. And then my last advice to people is always to just like take the pressure off yourself. There's no right way or wrong way to record memories of your family. We should just do it. So figure out what works for you. You can be a memory minimalist or a memory maximalist, and give yourself permission to be who you want to be. Maybe your iCloud storage gets full every 6 months and you're constantly paying to upgrade, which we should always do, by the way. Don't delete, just upgrade. Or maybe you're the type of person who takes 30 videos a year, and that's okay. You should take what matters to you and then just let it all go. All that pressure that we have on social media and from our peers and whatever it is to be mothers who we aren't. Like, I think there's a lot of freedom in just accepting who we are as a mother and making it work for us.
Yes, that is such good advice for my listeners, because most of us listening are in pregnancy or in the throes of early motherhood. And that is something that I've learned as well, but it took some time to get there.
It
That
does
maybe,
take time.
yeah,
It really does. And we don't
it
talk enough about
does.
it, I don't think. But I
Mm-mm.
think mothers of older kids need to have a burden of responsibility to relieve that pressure from these new mothers. It's hard.
It is. And like you said, just being who you are, not trying to be anyone else, whether that's a minimalist or a maximalist. I love how you put that. Whether you're type A or type B or somewhere in between.
Exactly.
I love all of those things. So for my listeners who are thinking, okay, I need one of these special family films, can you tell them where to find you and connect with you?
Absolutely. We're on Instagram at Isbell Family Films. And we're on our website as well, isbellfamilyfilms.com. And we create videos from whatever content you provide us. So whether you give us a GoPro video, an iPhone video, a Samsung video, old video that you converted, we can do anything, create anything. People ask me all the time, well, I want to just make a video of just their birthday. Great, we can do that. Just a year recap. Great, we can do that. So we provide, our options for our clients are limitless and only bound by what their creativity provides them.
I feel like this would make a great gift too for grandparents as well, or husbands. Maybe want to send
Maybe gift it
them.
yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
here, this would be a great Christmas gift for
This would
me.
be a really
Absolutely.
great Christmas gift for mom to
Absolutely.
cherish forever. How special would that be? I want to thank you so much again for your time today and sharing all of your wisdom with us. And I can't wait to hear from my listeners about how they're recording their everyday moments.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the A Bridge to Motherhood podcast. I'm so glad you were here today. If you loved this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a review for the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Share it with a friend or snap a screenshot and tag me on social media. If you decide to leave me a review, go to abridgetomotherhood.com/review. That link is also in the show notes so that I can send you a little gift in the mail. Your support helps other moms to find the podcast, and it truly means the world to me. Remember, your motherhood journey deserves your care and attention. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, mama, and don't worry, I'm here to help every step of the way. See you soon.